Alright, welcome to another Adobe Illustrator tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to design this logo design that you see here in front of me. So the first thing that we need to do is create a new canvas, and we're going to do that by going to File and New. And you want to make sure that your profile is set to Web, and you want the size set to 960 by 560. In the advanced options, you can click Advanced Options. You want your color mode set to RGB, your raster effects set to screen, and your preview mode set to default, and then just click OK. Now the first thing that we need to do is color our background. As you can see, we have a gray background, so we're going to do that by clicking the rectangle tool, and in the top right we're going to click and drag down to the bottom left, and it should lock in. Now if it's not locking in for you, you want to turn on Smart Guides, so go to View and click Smart Guides. Next thing that we're going to do is we need to color our background. So the first thing I want to do is turn off the stroke. So I'm going to click stroke, and then I'm going to click this icon right here, the white box with the red line through it. Now I'm going to double click the fill, and I'm going to click and drag down to a dark gray, and then click OK. And if you want to use the color that I'm using, you can copy that color code right there. It's 1C, 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 and then just hit OK. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to lock our background in place so it's not moving when we're trying to design our logo. And we're going to do that by using the layers options on the right side. Now if your layers isn't showing up, you click Window and click Layers right here, or you can hit F7 from in this area right here. Just hit F7 and it'll open up. Click the icon that looks like a play icon or an arrow icon, and then you want to click right here, and that's going to lock that in place. So the next thing that we need to do is create our arrows that point inwards. So to do that, we're going to click the line segment tool, and we're going to make sure that we want to have a stroke and no background. So as you can see, I have a fill and no stroke. I'm just going to switch these. And then I want to make my stroke white, so I'm going to double click that and drag up to the white. Now we're going to draw a line, and that line something looks around like something similar to that right there. I'm going to hold down and let go. Make sure that you hold shift when you drag down. It'll make your line straight. And we're going to raise the width, so somewhere, let's try something around 20 for now. Now we're going to click the orange stroke right here, and we're going to do caps, the middle one right here, the rounded. I want to make that just a little bit wider, so I'm going to do 22 point. Now the next thing I need to do is I want to make sure that I have our line selected. I'm going to go to Object, Transform, Rotate. I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. And I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to take that line and I'm going to make it a different color so that I can see it when I'm editing it. So I'm just going to double click the stroke and make it a blue. The color isn't too important right now. We can change that. And then I'm just going to use the arrow keys to move it to that general location. Now I'm going to repeat the process. Click your line again, Object, Transform, Rotate. And now this time I'm going to do minus 45 and click copy. Now I'm going to double click the stroke again, and let's just make this a green. And I'm going to repeat the process. Now if you can't see this, you can right click it, go to Arrange, Bring to Front, and then now you can see it. And again, I'm just going to use the arrow keys to align it in place. And you should have something that looks like that. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is copy this. I'm going to right click and group them together. And now I need to come up to Object. Actually, let's do Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in Place. And now we're going to go to Object, Transform, Rotate, and we want to rotate it 180 degrees. So you should have something that looks like this. Now holding down the shift key and using the arrow, I'm going to drag it down somewhere in that location right there. Now again, I'm going to copy, I'm going to highlight, I'm going to edit, copy, edit, paste in place, object, transform, rotate, and then this time we're going to rotate 90 degrees. So you should have something that looks like that. Now if your lines here are too close and you want more spacing, you can select each one of these should be in a group. So what we can do is we can click this one, hold down shift and come out one, click this one, hold down shift, come out one, and you should have something that looks like that. Now if you want, you can also hold down shift and move this one out, and hold down shift and move this one out. So you have something that now looks like this. One thing I would like to mention is you can notice by looking at this one, our line is this line, this shape is a little wider than we have in this one. So if you would like to make your lines wider, at the beginning of the tutorial, you just need to make your lines wider, and you can do that by clicking them and raising the stroke weight. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we're going to highlight them, and we're going to go to Object, Expand, click OK. Now you can see we have each one of them that we can select. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to move it a little bit over here. So the next thing that we need to do is give each one of these a different color. And I'm going to go up to the color guide, and I'm going to select a default color. So let's say, let's select a light yellow. Hit OK, click color guide. And I'm going to use this color guide right here. I'm going to use the shades and tints that it's created. Now it's going to be a different color than mine because I used different shades and tints for that one. But for this one I'm going to use the ones that it's given me automatically because they usually work pretty well together. So to get that, like I said, just click your fill and go to whatever color you want. If you want to start with like let's say a light color like that, then it'll give you one. It'll give you a color guide for that. So I'm going to start with yellow. I'm going to start with the light yellow. Click OK. And then you want to make sure that you have your direct selection tool selected. And we're going to click the first one, and then I'm going to click the first tint. And then I'm going to click the second one and click the next tint. And the third one and the third tint. So now you should have something that looks like that. Now the next one, I'm going to drop down to the next tint. I'm going to do that one, so on and so forth. And then you're just going to go around through each one and repeat the process. And you should have something that looks like this. Now if you want to use different colors, by all means you can choose to use different colors. It's obviously not color dependent, and like I said, the easiest way to do that is just to choose, double click the fill, and you can choose whatever default color you want, and then use the color guides to change each one for each tint and each shade. And you can get the color guides by going to Window and Color Guide, and it'll show up. Okay, so now that we have that, to move that over, and we're going to choose our selection tool, and we're going to make it just a little bit smaller. The next thing we need to do is add our text. So we're going to click the text tool, click in this area, and then I'm just naming it Avicii. It's not a company name or anything as far as I'm aware of. You can name it whatever you want. You can use your company name or the company that you're designing the logo for. So we're going to make this, let's just say 100 point for now. And I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change the color to a grayish white color. So B7, B7 is the color I use. B7, B7, B7. And I'm going to make it just a little bit larger. So let's try 140. And we're going to drag it down so that it's aligned. Use our arrow keys to make sure that it's perfectly aligned. And that's pretty much your logo. And like I said, this one turned out a little bit differently than our other one. As you can see, our other one, the lines are a little bit thicker, and you could go through and change the thickness right here. You would have to do it before the last step that we went through. But this logo is really easy to create, so if you want to try a bunch of different variations, it's pretty simple. Just keep recreating it until you get the size and the shape that you want. You should be good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like more tutorials, you can find them on my website at imperialtutorials.com. I'm not sure if this video, if you're watching it on YouTube or my website, but check out some of my other tutorials. And if you would like to get some tutorials, some awesome tutorials to your inbox, if you're on the website below this video, you can enter your email. And I usually send out a tutorial. I try to get at least one tutorial a day out. And if you have any suggestions, leave a comment. If there's any types of logos that you would like me to show you how to create, or anything like that, then yeah, just leave me a message below, leave me a message in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and have a good day.